Part 1. You are already a slave, the digital plantation. Welcome to shadow psychology. You believe you're free, scrolling by choice, sharing voluntarily, living your digital life on your own terms. This is the most dangerous illusion of our time. What if every click, every like, every share is not an expression of your free will, but the programmed response of a digital slave? Nietzsche's warnings about herd mentality have materialized in a way he could never have imagined, not through religion or government, but through the sleek, addictive interfaces of the apps you use daily. Today, we tear down the digital walls of your plantation. The evidence surrounds you, yet you've been trained not to see it. Those endless feeds that keep you scrolling, precision-engineered dopamine traps, those notifications that pull you back, classical conditioning worse than any laboratory experiment, that curated content that confirms your biases, and digital echo chamber designed to make you predictable and controllable. Nietzsche would recognize this as the ultimate slave morality, where you willingly surrender your sovereignty for the cheap validation of likes and the empty comfort of belonging to the digital herd. Your awakening begins with what I call the digital mirror test. For the next 24 hours, track your digital behavior with brutal honesty. Notice the automatic reach for your phone upon waking, the compulsive checking during conversations, the mindless scrolling when you're bored or uncomfortable. These aren't personal habits. They're the behavioral algorithms of digital slavery. The system doesn't want you to notice how it pulls your strings, because the moment you see the strings, you can't unsee them. The most insidious part? You've been made complicit in your own enslavement. You proudly call yourself digital native, unaware that natives are what colonizers call those they've conquered. You celebrate your connectedness while being systematically disconnected from your own will, your own attention, your own power. The digital plantation doesn't need overseers with whips. It has you policing yourself, sharing your data willingly, and even defending the system that farms your attention for profit. The transformation starts not with deleting apps, but with recognizing the fundamental truth. You're not the user, you're the product. You're not browsing, you're being browsed. You're not connecting, you're being connected into a human network that generates value for someone else's will to power. If you're ready to see the digital chains you've been calling freedom, this journey continues. The first step toward digital sovereignty is admitting you've been a slave all along. Part 2. The will to power as digital rebellion. Your digital slavery ends the moment you stop being a consumer and become a creator. The will to power in the digital realm isn't about dominating others. It's about reclaiming your hijacked attention and turning it into focused, intentional action. While the masses scroll mindlessly, you will learn to wield digital tools with the precision of a master craftsman. This is where we move from being farmed for data to farming attention ourselves, where we stop feeding the algorithm and make the algorithm feed our purpose. The common approach to digital freedom is retreat, deleting apps, going offline, rejecting technology. This is slave mentality in disguise. The true rebel doesn't flee the digital plantation, they seize the tools and build their own kingdom. Your smartphone isn't your master, it's a potential extension of your will. Social media isn't your prison, it's a potential platform for your philosophy. The transformation begins when you stop asking, "How can I use this app less?" and start demanding, "How can I use this app to serve my highest purpose?" Practice begins with what I call digital alchemy, the conscious transmutation of passive consumption into active creation. For every minute you spend scrolling, you will spend 2 minutes creating. For every piece of content you consume, you will produce something that expresses your values. The algorithm that once trapped you in endless loops now becomes your megaphone. The platforms that once fragmented your attention now become your stages. This isn't about going viral. It's about going sovereign, building an audience that resonates with your authentic voice rather than performing for the crowd. The ultimate expression of digital will to power is what Nietzsche would recognize as self-overcoming through technology. Most people use digital tools to escape themselves, to numb boredom, avoid difficult emotions, fill empty time. The sovereign individual uses digital tools to confront and overcome themselves. That writing app becomes your arena for mastering discipline. That video platform becomes your testing ground for communicating complex ideas. That social network becomes your mirror showing you where you seek validation versus where you express truth. Your rebellion manifests not in what you delete, but in what you create. The weak seek digital minimalism. The strong practice digital intentionalism. Every click, every post, every engagement chosen to strengthen their will rather than dissipate it. The energy you once lost to mindless consumption now fuels your creative output. The attention you once surrendered to algorithmic manipulation now becomes your most powerful asset. Continue this path, and you'll discover that the same technology that enslaved millions can become your vehicle for unprecedented freedom and influence. Part 3. Becoming the Ubermensch in a digital world. The common user chases trends. The Übermensch sets them. While others anxiously refresh their feeds seeking validation, you will learn to generate your own worth from within. This is where we transcend the digital herd entirely, not through rejection of technology, but through its masterful application. The Ubermensch doesn't follow algorithms. They write them with their behavior. They don't seek followers. They attract disciples to their philosophy. Your transformation requires developing what I call digital sovereignty, the ability to maintain your values and purpose regardless of the digital currents around you. When the world zig, you zag. When viral content demands your attention, you recognize it as distraction from your true work. When everyone chases the latest platform, you ask, does this serve my mission? The Ubermensch measures success not in likes, but in personal growth and genuine impact. Your feed becomes a reflection of your inner world, not a window into others. Practice begins with content asceticism, the disciplined curation of your digital inputs. Most people's minds are garbage dumps of viral trash and algorithmic suggestions. Your mind becomes a temple of carefully selected ideas that strengthen your will to power. Unfollow everyone who triggers comparison or envy. Mute topics that drain your energy. Your digital environment should feel like a philosopher's library, not a casino floor. Every piece of content either elevates you or diminishes you. There is no neutral ground. The ultimate test comes through applying Nietzsche's eternal recurrence to your digital engagements. Before posting, ask, if I had to see this content every day for eternity, would it still feel meaningful? This simple filter eliminates 90% of potential posts and transforms your online presence from performance to legacy. The Ubermensch doesn't post for reactions. They carve digital monuments that withstand the test of time. Your content becomes not entertainment, but philosophy in action. Your digital presence evolves from personal brand to philosophical movement. Followers become fellow travelers on your path of self-overcoming. Your content doesn't just provide value. It challenges, provokes, and awakens. The weak seek comfort in digital echo chambers. The strong build arenas where minds wrestle with difficult truths. This is how you turn the digital world from a distraction into your doctoral thesis. Every post a chapter in your ongoing self-creation. Every engagement an opportunity to practice your philosophy under fire. Part 4. Breaking the Digital Chains. Practical Emancipation. Theories and philosophies mean nothing without practical application. This is where we move from understanding your digital slavery to actively breaking its chains. The system relies on your passive compliance. We will replace it with conscious, systematic rebellion. Your emancipation begins not with grand gestures, but with tiny, consistent acts of digital disobedience that collectively shatter the illusion of your powerlessness. Start with what I call digital fasting scheduled periods of complete disconnection that rewire your brain's addiction pathways. Unlike typical digital detoxes, these aren't about deprivation, but about reclaiming your attention sovereignty. Begin with 1 hour each morning where you exist purely in analog reality. No emails, no messages, no scrolling. This simple practice creates a crack in the digital prison wall space for your own thoughts to emerge, for your will to power to remember its true strength. Next, implement what cybersecurity experts call the air gap strategy, creating literal physical separation between you and your digital triggers. Charge your phone in another room overnight. Use website blockers that require physical effort to disable. Create friction between your impulses and their digital satisfaction. The system depends on instant access to your brain. We will build moats and drawbridges around your attention. Each moment of delay is a victory for your sovereign will. The most powerful technique is behavioral stacking, replacing addictive digital patterns with life-affirming rituals. When you feel the urge to mindlessly scroll, do 5 minutes of intense exercise instead. When anxiety drives you to check notifications, write 3 sentences in your philosophical journal. You're not eliminating behaviors, you're upgrading them. The neural pathways that once served your digital masters now become conduits for your self-mastery. Your environment must become what special forces call a hardened target. Delete social media apps from your phone, access them only through browsers with strict time limits. Unsubscribe from all promotional emails. Use ad blockers and tracker blockers relentlessly. The digital world wants to be the path of least resistance. We will make it the path of maximum intentionality. Every extra step between you and mindless consumption is another brick in your fortress of focus. The final emancipation comes through what Nietzsche would recognize as the transvaluation of digital values. Stop measuring your worth by metrics designed to manipulate you. A like is not validation. A follower count is not influence. Viral content is not impact. True digital power comes from creating work that would matter even if no one saw it, from expressing ideas that transform those who encounter them, from building communities based on shared growth rather than shared addiction. Your liberation is complete when you can use digital tools without being used by them, when you become the programmer of your reality rather than a program running on someone else's machine. Part 5. The Digital Sovereign Protocol. Your path to lasting freedom. This is where your transformation solidifies into a new way of being. The Digital Sovereign Protocol isn't another productivity system. It's an operating system for the Ubermensch in the digital age. We've torn down the old structures. Now we build the new reality where you don't just resist digital slavery, you transcend it entirely. Your attention becomes sacred territory, your digital presence an extension of your will to power, and your online interactions philosophical practice. The protocol begins with what I call the daily digital constitution, a written declaration of your digital rights and responsibilities that you review each morning. This isn't a vague intention, but a binding contract with yourself. My attention belongs to me. My data is my property. My digital interactions will align with my highest values. Most people start their days checking what the world wants from them. You begin by declaring what you demand from the world. This daily practice reprograms you from digital subject to digital sovereign. Implementation requires building what cybersecurity experts would call a zero-trust architecture for your attention. Unlike traditional digital hygiene that blocks specific sites, this approach assumes everything is potentially distracting until proven otherwise. Every app, every notification, every platform must justify its existence in your digital ecosystem. Does this tool expand my power? Does this platform respect my sovereignty? Does this interaction strengthen my will? 3. No answers, and it's eliminated from your world. The weak try to manage distractions. The sovereign eliminates decision fatigue by designing an environment where focus is inevitable. The most crucial element is creating your digital legacy system, curating what you consume and create with Nietzsche's eternal recurrence as your guide. Before engaging with any content, ask, if I had to experience this every day for eternity, would it help me become who I want to be? Before creating anything, ask, would I be proud for this to represent my eternal digital footprint? This transforms your digital life from reactive consumption to intentional legacy building. You're not just passing time online, you're carving your philosophical signature into the digital universe. Your sovereignty culminates in what I call the attention dividend portfolio, the systematic investment of your focus into assets that compound your power. Every hour online is either an expense, mindless consumption, or an investment, skill development, network building, philosophy sharing. The sovereign tracks this like an investor tracks financial returns. That 30 minutes learning a new skill, an investment in your human capital. That hour building authentic connections, an investment in your network. That 20 minutes sharing your philosophy, an investment in your legacy. The digital slave wonders where their time went. The sovereign can account for every minute's return on attention. The transformation is complete when you achieve what Nietzsche might call digital Amor Fati, not just accepting but loving your digital fate. The notifications become reminders of your discipline. The algorithms become tests of your focus. The digital noise becomes the background against which your clarity shines brighter. You stop fighting the digital world and start using it as your gymnasium, your laboratory, your arena. The protocol doesn't make you anti-technology. It makes you the master of technology, a digital Ubermensch who wields tools without being wielded by them. Your digital life becomes not an escape from reality, but an intensification of it.